Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2026 Toyota GR86 Yuzu Edition. This pays homage to the 2015 Scion FOURR release series, so finished off in the same color and has a lot of nice features to it. So let's start off with what this is powered by, which is the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine. This one's paired to the 6-speed manual. It pumps out 228 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque. It is rear-wheel drive, weighs in right around 2,800 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 6 seconds. Top speed is 140 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 13.2 gallons. You'll expect to see 21 miles per gallon in the city and 30 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 101.4 inches. Its overall length is 167.9. It has a width of 69.9, a height of 51.6, and its ground clearance measures in at 5.1 inches. Now, with this Yuzu Edition, this also comes with 12.8-inch Brembo brakes up front, along with the Sach dampeners, and it has a color-matched body kit as well. You'll notice some really nice features for the interior once we get there, and there's 3 different trim levels for this. So you can get the GR86, the Premium, and then the Yuzu Edition. Now, as we work our way to the exterior, you'll notice there's 2 GR badges up front. There's also a really nice design for this grille, where you'll notice there's a matte black trim accent that separates this yellow section of the front bumper very nicely. Now there's also LEDs for the lighting. You'll notice more of that matte black along with some trim accents there and some very clean lines that come down the hood as well. And then working our way to the side, you'll notice the matte black wheels along with those Brembo brakes, which give it a great look. And then this is where you get part of the body kit. So you'll notice a little bit in the front section here, and then it works its way to this entire lower side skirt. You'll notice too, there's another trim accent just behind that tire. There's also gloss black for the side mirrors. And then as we take a step back, it definitely has a cool look to it from the factory. So this is how you can option this, of course. Now there's no sunroof or anything, but you'll notice almost that double bubble design to it like the Supra, just to give you a little bit more headspace, especially when you are wearing a helmet. Now in back, this also gets a very large body colored spoiler. You'll notice more of that body kit for the lower bumper, and then it also has the quad tip GR exhaust. There's more matte black right in the middle there, and then there's also a backup camera, and this is how you can gain access to the trunk. So unlike the Supra, you have a control there where you don't have to grab the key fob. Now for the GR86, I used to own one. There's actually a pretty good amount of space in the back. You can fold the back seats down. You get a little bit of space underneath the floor, but when you fold the back seats down, that definitely gives you quite a lot of space. So this was my practical sports car when I needed it. Now for the interior, this is where you get some of the ultra suede for the door panel there. You'll also notice yellow for the stitching on the armrest there. You have your window controls, side mirror adjustments, a little bit of storage, and the release handle. And then you have more of that suede for these seats with all of the yellow stitching. Now these are manually adjusting seats, so you have all of those controls to do that. However, the easiest way to get into the back seat, simply just pull this. So now the backrest is forwards there, but you do need 2 hands in order to slide the seat forwards. So from there, you could work your way into the back. Now, just for giggles, I will hop into the back of this vehicle where obviously you have to move these seats very far up, and at 5'10", this is not where I want to be, but you can use this for extra storage. You fold the whole backrest down for additional space. You could put your kids in here if they are small enough. So if you need somewhat of a more practical vehicle, you want that better interior space, honestly, I really enjoyed having my 86 for that reason. I could fit in some large items in the back and still have a fun manual to drive around. Now, as we work our way to the steering wheel, it's finished off in leather. You'll notice more of the leather stitching along with GR on the bottom there. With my foot on the brake and the clutch, we can start this up now and take a look at this gauge cluster. So you'll notice on the right side, there's fuel, temperature, tach is right in the middle, along with miles per hour, and then you do have some information on that left side. Now you can use controls on the right side of the steering wheel in order to go through some of this information. So you can scroll through all of these as needed, just depending on what you would like to see, and there's some tech features that you can also turn on and off as well. So really nice to see that. Now you also have distance pacing along with your voice commands, cruise control stock, and then your Bluetooth volume and tuning on the left side. There's a dimmer switch, a release for the trunk. You have one air vent, trip reset is on that left side, and then you have two air vents in the middle, and then the infotainment system underneath that. Now you do have physical controls on both sides, but it is a touchscreen system as well. So that way you can use that as needed. You also have volume and tuning. Pretty simple system, but you can pair your phone to this, and that's pretty much all you need. Now the climate adjustments are laid out well. There's fan speed, temperature dials on both sides. You have where you like the air to go, along with your defrosters and sink. And then with the manual, simply pull the release up, and now we are in reverse, so you can bring up that backup camera. And then of course we have the rest of the 6 gears to go through. Now there's also your traction control and a track mode. So you can push and hold on this to go through those settings as needed. It will also change the gauge cluster there. So now you can see more of a track setup. You have another traction control, and then there are the heated seat adjustments. There's also a manual parking brake. Your cup holders are actually located in the armrest. So you do have to choose between having your drinks or having the armrest, but they are there if you need to use them. There's also plenty of storage in the glove box. And then you have your rear view and dome lights up top. And then you surprisingly have a good amount of visibility. There's some pretty large windows on both sides, which is really great to see. But now let's get this out on the track and see how it drives. All right, so we are behind the wheel now of a 2024 GR86, and I actually owned one. So if you want to see what that ownership experience was like, some of the modifications that I did to that car, take a look at the GR86 playlist. What I love about this car is that you can use all of this car. So unlike the Supra and even the Corolla to an extent that I've been driving around this track, you can push this a little bit more. You can really wring out the gears more as well. It's very easy to drive too, and it does handle well. I'm very curious to see the 26 Yuzu over this, because like I said, I had one. Now I did lower my car, which really helped stiffen it up and give it better handling. Not that it's not bad. This is a stock vehicle and it definitely does well, but I could feel a huge difference just in that one modification on my own vehicle. And like, we're pedal to the floor right now. So I was definitely doing triple in the Supra, but this isn't a car that's built for speed. This is a vehicle that can handle incredibly well. So you can feel confident in wringing out the gears and really learning how to drive without being intimidated of having too much power. But going through some turns like this, steering is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good. It is planted, and it feels good. It's one of the best handling vehicles just because of its lightweight as well. So it's a perfect vehicle, a very great handling vehicle. Doesn't have the speed like some of the other models, but it certainly can hang with them if you learn how to use the momentum of the vehicle rather than having to brake quite as much. But let's hop into the Yuzu Edition and see the differences. So behind the wheel now for the Yuzu Edition, this has a little bit better throttle response. We have that upgraded exhaust too, which is something that I did on my car. The Boxer engine just has a really good rumble to it. But we also have improvements to the rigidity here. I do wish it did have a little bit more power. A lot of people have been wondering if Toyota and Subaru will throw on a turbo or something like that, but if you want more power, you can just go with the Supra, because this is not, again, a quick car. I mean, it can hold its own if you learn how to carry its weight through these corners and brake less. It definitely feels right at home, especially with this latest model. The steering feel is really good. I can feel the acceleration is better too, and we can hold these G's, wow, as we're doing highway speeds there. And I'm definitely getting up. I'm going faster. Oops, there we go. Yeah, one thing, you get those satisfying shifts when you don't do that. Down into third. I do wish the seats were upgraded. I'm kind of bouncing back a little between both of them. So it would be nice if they had a little bit more of a bolster style seat. But the connection with the steering here is spot on. Where you want this car to go, it is going to go. This is such a fun track too. But even with a vehicle like this, I mean, you are getting performance and handling with the there we go, 86. Such a fun car. All right, so last lap behind the wheel for the Yuzu Edition. This is definitely a fun car, and like I think I've already said, I used to own a GR86, and it's just a blast of a car to drive. Surprisingly, on a track like this, I haven't felt uncomfortable with the back end wanting to kick out. With as light as this vehicle is, if you really wanted to, you probably could, but more so at slower rates of speed. This thing grips phenomenally well for having such skinny tires too. That is interesting to see, but it's a lightweight car, of course. You could throw on some wider tires if you really needed to. But it handles so well. It's very fun. This is a car that, if you're maybe new to the performance car world, you don't want something too intimidating like the Supra can be, you can absolutely use this car for a long period of time and just gradually learn how to become a better driver without getting scared of getting the back end out or getting triple digit speeds. I have the pedal to the floor right now and I'm comfortably talking to you because we're not getting up too fast to where you're going to get into trouble, but it's still something that will get up and move. So you can't go wrong with an 86. Such a fun car. We were able to take a few of these Toyotas to the tail of the Dragon as well, and honestly, I'd say I probably had more fun in this than the Supra, just because of how those smaller roads are built for a small car like this. The Supra, you just couldn't use its potential because of the sharp and short turns. This, you can ring out every gear and just have a very fun time behind the wheel. So that is going to wrap it up for the 2026 GR86. Definitely a good improvement as well compared to previous models. This has come a long way since the Scion FRS days. So that's going to wrap it up. Huge shout out to Toyota and letting us come to Sonoma Raceway and really test the performance of these GR series vehicles. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. Take a look at our GR86 playlist as well for my ownership experience and the modifications that I did to that car. And I will see you all in the next video.